Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Bernie here, and if this is your first time on my channel, thank you for tuning in, and do click the subscribe button below so you don't miss any videos from me. Okay, so today it's pretty much me just talking to you guys, like a kind of like reflection on my own life, in terms of like uni and medical school. So I met these two lovely ladies the other day, and somehow we just started talking about what we're grateful for and like the past kind of thing. So it reminded me of my journey to medical school. So I'm just going to share that with you guys, and I hope you find it helpful, inspiring, and like it motivates you not to like give up, like you can do it kind of thing. So yeah, let's just get straight into the video. Okay, so I'll just start with like secondary school A-level kind of thing. So for A-levels, I did maths, biology, chemistry. Nobody told me, not that nobody told me, it was just like I didn't realize how much of a big jump GCSE was to A-level. So I didn't give it my all, if I'm honest. Like, it was just, it's one of them things that I think I've just grown from now, and it's made me realize that obviously working hard is very important. I just said to myself, if I'm going to apply for something, I need like the best of grades, obviously, for medicine. So I pushed myself to work as hard as I can, and to get good grades. Now the grades weren't the best of grades in terms of like, this is my A-levels, in terms of applying for medicine. It wasn't the A stars. Yeah, I struggled on that a bit in terms of like then finding universities I could apply to. And at that time, although I've always known I wanted to study medicine, because of the way my grades portrayed and the way they were, I thought, okay, maybe it's just a science thing. Maybe I just love the sciences and it's not actually like medicine that I want to study. So I then decided to do apply for 3 biomedical science courses and then 2 medicine, or maybe it was the other way around. So yeah, I had a couple interviews for medicine. So I think I had at Southampton and at Nottingham. Southampton rejected me afterwards, and then Northampton was really good. I did well at the interview, but somehow, long story, I didn't end up going there anyway. And then for my biomedical sciences, I applied to Essex and Coventry. Ended up going to Essex to study biomedical science, and I just thought, you know what, that's it kind of thing. Maybe it's just biomedical science. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. Then yeah, in my first year of biomedical science, I liked it because there was a lot of science. But later on, I was just thinking, this is not for me kind of thing. It just seemed so theoretical, if that's the word to use. And what clarified it for me was then when we had a summer school, at the end of the first year, we went to a lab, and we had for like 2 weeks, and just to get to know the lab and like what's done, what you do as a biomedical scientist. And that just sealed it for me that definitely biomedical science is not for me. So from then on, I started to like work towards like applying for medicine, which I'll then have to do in my second year if I wanted to study medicine after I finished my biomedical science degree. So did my second year, then I was then going to do the UK CAT during the summer, which I did. And like I was saying in my previous video, the fire alarm went off doing the UK CAT test midway through it. So we all had to get allocated another time. So imagine the stress of like planning your UK CAT and studying and practicing, and then you're ready to do it, and then something happens and then you have to do it all over again. So yeah, that was that. So I then did the UK CAT, got a really good score in it. Yeah, I was genuinely happy. Then I was starting to think about my personal statement. Then out of the blue, one of my tutors, God bless his heart, he literally was the one that, all thanks to him, and like, honestly, he calls me and he's like, oh Bernie, I know you don't want to do biomedical science, I know you don't want to do a placement, but there's an opportunity available for you to do a placement in Norfolk and Norwich Hospital. And I was just thinking, I don't want to be a biomedical science, so why would I do a placement? And he was like, okay, I'm just going to give you a week to think about it, and then you can get back to me. So I was obviously thinking about it and prayed about it as well, because I was literally at crossroads. Like, I did not know what to do, because I was thinking, yes, I didn't want to put myself in a position whereby, okay, I didn't do the placement and then I didn't get in medicine. I don't know, I was just at crossroads. So obviously spoke to my parents about it as well, spoke to a couple of people, and through research and like prayer, um, decided to go for it to do a placement. And I cannot express how much of a difference that year made to me. Like, I learned so much about myself, about education in general, what I want to do, about people, how to interact, working. It made me, one of the biggest things I realized as well was that university was such a bubble. It taught me how to obviously interact with people. Obviously I've had a job before, but this was like more of a professional level. So I came out of my placement now, then going into my final year, which would be the 4th year, and obviously in your final year you have to do a dissertation. So then I had planned, because obviously I'd done a placement, that I was going to do my dissertation based on something from the lab. So they were getting new analyzers, like new machines, and I was going to do my dissertation on like comparing and validating the new analyzers. So during the summertime, while I was still working, everybody had been allocated their different tutors and the different dissertation groups and themes and questions. And yeah, that was that. So I was set to go into the final year, you know, everything's set. They told me that I wasn't going to be able to start until mid-September because the analyzers were not going to come until then. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. It's not a lot of lab work to do per se. It's not a lot of practical work to do, so I could do it in a short period of time. So yeah, I just kept waiting and waiting. Everybody had kind of like, I think they'd been like 2 weeks into their dissertation now, and I was just waiting. The end of September, I get an email from the manager of the lab to say I couldn't do the dissertation anymore, as to that they didn't know when the analyzer would come in and they didn't want to keep dragging me along apparently. And I was just thinking, what? Like, everybody has been allocated their time, everybody allocated their dissertation, allocated their themes, allocated questions, tutors, and like, where am I supposed to start from? You know, like, I wouldn't get any choice in like choosing who it was, or even, it wasn't even a matter of choosing, like, was there even a dissertation for me to do? That's the thing. Then talk of like doing a dissertation in something I completely hated. I was going through all this when I had to then do the application for medicine, so do my personal statement as well. And we all know how stressful a personal statement can get. The only thing that got me through that time was prayer, because I really don't know. Yeah, somehow, by God's grace, that same tutor I was telling you guys about just happened to like randomly say, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just take Bernie on. I'll just have one more person on my team. That's how I got in, and I honestly couldn't have been with anyone better or do any better dissertation. So that was great. You know, started to process my dissertation things. I was already a bit behind, so I had to stay back and just catch up. Finally got on track with everyone else. Then it was the time to submit the application. Can you imagine? I actually submitted my application, and then last minute I had to change it because I realized that one of the unis I probably didn't have a good chance. That's what I was saying about like checking your different unis and like all the options you have, just to make sure you maximize your opportunity of getting to wherever you want to get into. Basically, after your application, the next thing, the dreadful thing you're waiting for is to hear something. And it's like you're in two places, because they say like no news is good news, right? So it's like you don't want to hear anything, at the same time you want to hear something. Come December, I got an interview from Aberdeen, and then my interview was in, I think in January. My interview was in January. So went for my interview now, and like I just fell in love with the medical school. Like, I was already at the point where I was thinking, you know what, honestly, whatever medical school I get into, I will be happy with it. But coming, and obviously I hadn't been, so coming from my interview and then seeing the medical school itself, I was just flabbergasted. I was no, I'm joking. I was so happy. The medical school itself was just amazing. Obviously very excited, and then it was just the fact of waiting to hear anything from them. And I remember they told us not to like expect to hear anything until like June. I think mid-March or so, I was in a lecture and I got that dreaded email of something that changed on UCAS, and guys, I kid you not, my heart was just all over the place. And like anybody that knows me knows that I never check results. I never ever check results. I think the only results I've ever checked was like my first year results at Essex. Other than that, ever since, I always get people to check my results for me, because I can't deal. I couldn't bring myself to actually check it. So instead I decided I was going to like go in student room and like check what everyone else was getting. So I was seeing like some people were getting like offers, rejection, or on the waiting list. So yeah, after like going back and forth for like 10 minutes, I then just thought to myself, you know what, whatever, it is what it is. If I do get in, great. If I don't, God has a plan for me. And yeah, you know, me checking it is not gonna make any difference to what it is. So yeah, I just decided to just open it up, and I kid you not, guys, I saw it and I was like, I saw the conditional offer. I scrolled up and down because I couldn't believe it. You know when you've like wanted something for the longest of time and like it's just there at the tip of your fingers? I could not believe it. So I logged out of my account and I logged back in again just to make sure. Logged back in again, it was still there. And I literally just ran out of the lecture room, went to call my mom, and she was so funny. She kept saying, calm down, calm down. And I was thinking, you're the one that needs to calm down. Like, she was there screaming. Not only did I want it, because obviously everyone around me, or my family and friends as well, knew how much I wanted it. Everyone was just so happy for me. So I went back to the lecture room and I did not listen to anything the lecturer was saying. It was just like, pff, pff, like going in and coming out. I was just so happy. He did requested for 2-1, so the next thing was obviously getting that 2-1. Although personally I'd already set myself a goal of getting a first class from like straight going into university. I wanted the top marks, so they wanted a 2-1, and yeah, like those 2 months of like studying for the finals were one of the toughest times of my life. It was just like putting my all, because not only was I obviously trying to get the first class as well, but it was the fact that you know, I'd been given this opportunity with a conditional offer for medicine, and I didn't want to mess that up. Like, imagine I didn't get the requested grade they wanted. So I worked my hardest. I was just like, you know what, if this just 2 months would determine me getting what I want, I have to do it. And yeah, it definitely paid off, because then results came out, and Essex likes to play games. They would tell you the results comes out on a specific day, and then somehow like a couple days before it or a week before, the results comes out. And I can never forget that day results came out. I'd actually just gone to visit my nan, and we're talking about like results, and she said, oh, imagine if they put it through your letterbox. And I was like, no, they don't do that. It's online. And imagine, ho and behold, I'm going back home, I get a call from my friend to say, oh, you know, results are out, right? Like, my whole temperature just changed. Like, my body temperature, everything just changed. Everything about me was just like, I couldn't get myself anymore. I was just all over the place. Obviously the first thing I wanted to know first was whether I got into medicine or not. I first dilly-dallied for ages, and then finally got someone to check it for me, and then they're like, yeah. So that was like a big weight lifted off my shoulders, so I was so happy with that. And then later on, like ages, and then decided to check my results to then see that first class. Honestly, whatever you set as a goal, you can honestly achieve it with hard work, determination, and prayer. Prayer obviously is the first one, and then hard work and determination. You can get whatever you want. Like, not just even with me, that I can give as an example, like the one that happened this year with my sister, it made me realize how much like God just does miraculous things. He's just I don't want to start preaching, but he's just amazing. He's honestly just, I don't know what I would have done or what my family would have done without him. You know, when a dream just comes true, I was so happy. I didn't even know where to put myself. I was just all over the place. Like, I was like, finally, I'm actually going to do this. All the things that's happened, it just goes to show that with determination, if you set your mind to something, you can achieve it. So I do hope this video kind of like inspires you guys, or any aspiring medics out there, not just even medics, with anything in your life. Like, if you want to do something, literally set your mind to it, pray about it, and you know, stay positive. You will definitely get where you want to be. So I do hope you guys find this video very helpful. If you do have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. I'm sorry if I rambled in the video. It's just, you know, all the memories just coming through and just, you know, spitting everything out. But yeah, I do hope you guys take something from this video, and I hope you have a lovely day, of course, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.